Yo, what is up, guys? We got a phenomenal question here regarding cardio and how you can balance your cardio with your workouts, right? And now, before I even begin to answer this question, I just want to say this is a great question to have because a lot of people struggle doing enough cardio in their routine and actually working out, living this active, healthy lifestyle. So the fact that you're actually asking me this question already goes to show me that you are on top of your game, right? So really quickly breaking this down, how much cardio is too much? I normally do 12 incline with 4 speed for 30 minutes and short slow walk and speed run for 5 minutes before ending it, collectively 1 hour of cardio. I often hear that too much cardio can or make us lose the grown or growing muscle. Any thoughts? Question mark. So yeah, definitely there's a thing as too much of anything. You could be working out too much. You could be doing too much cardio because yeah, we only have finite resources to allocate towards recovery. Our human body, right? We can't just work out 24 hours a day for 7 days a week, right? Like we do require recovery time. So kind of like striking that healthy balance and kind of like that good balance between like doing the cardio, doing the workouts, but then also allowing enough recovery in between sessions for us to actually grow, repair, and then come back stronger, right? Because the entire purpose of recovery is quite literally to come back in a better, stronger state, right? So really quickly, and I think this analogy, like when I first heard it, made so much sense to me. When you're in the gym, you are quite literally breaking down your muscles, right? Like you're in the gym, you're lifting weights, and you'll notice that the deeper you get into your workouts, the more fatigued you get and the weaker you actually get. Because the first exercise during your workout, let's say it's the squat, you feel fresh, you feel ready to go, you're squatting 3 plates, whatever. But then let's say an hour, 90 minutes into your workouts, it's like, could you still be squatting 3 plates? Probably not, right? Especially if you train at a high intensity because you're just going to be so drained and so tired, right? So we have a finite amount of resources to allocate towards not only a workout, but to our recovery as well, right? So first thing here, the amount of cardio. So doing an hour of cardio right here, like you mentioned here, is a lot, right? And can also be quite intense, especially if you're also combining that with like high intensity interval training and also the steady state, like you mentioned there, you're doing brisk walk and then short speed for the last 5 minutes, right? And so while that is great for cardiovascular health and burning a bunch of calories, doing too much of it can definitely indeed interfere with your muscle growth, especially if it's not complemented with strength training, right? And it's considering that your goal is also to build up more muscle, yeah, you definitely don't want to be doing too much of the cardio, right? Because doing too much cardio can also have a big impact on literally your muscle growth. So high volume cardio can also lead to muscle loss through various mechanisms. So the first mechanism is too much cardio or too many cardio sessions can increase your cortisol levels. And now cortisol is basically a stress hormone in your body, which quite literally makes you break down muscle, right? So even like in a naturally stressed state, like when you're in fight or flight mode, yeah, your body's natural response is to survive and not thrive. And muscle is a pretty luxury thing that we all have. It's not really something that is required for us to like survive necessarily. So when you're constantly operating in a high stress state, which you could do physically through doing too much cardio, or even like mentally as well by studying too much, working too much, all these outside stressors, by simply being in a high stress state, you're literally in fight or flight mode, your cortisol is way too high, and you're literally in muscle breakdown mode. You're in a catabolic state, which is not what you want, right? Especially if your main goal is to build more muscle. So that's not what you want. And the second thing here is too much cardio can also deplete your glycogen stores, and glycogen stores are absolutely essential for muscle energy and recovery. And now the last thing here is that it can also lead to a calorie deficit, ultimately, which if not managed properly can lead to muscle loss, right? All in all, if you're doing more cardio and if you're burning more calories than you burn, you are obviously going to be losing weight. And again, doing too much of it, if you're in too much of a deficit, you'll be losing muscle as well. Losing fat is great, but then losing muscle is not really what we want, right? So we don't want to put ourselves in a huge deficit so that we're losing. So there's a big difference between losing body fat and losing weight, right? Because losing body fat means that you're simply just losing the body fat while preserving your muscle mass, whereas losing weight implies that both you're losing body fat, which is good, but then also losing muscle. So we want to like, again, don't be in too much of a deficit there. And then also balancing cardio with strength training is really, really important if you do a lot of cardio. So to mitigate muscle loss while still reaping the benefits of cardiovascular exercise, it is essential to strike a balance between cardio and strength training. So strength training, particularly resistance training, so lifting weights, right? or even like using your body weight if you're a beginner, stimulates muscle growth and helps preserve lean muscle mass. So if you are doing a bunch of cardio, try to mitigate that by also still exercising, because if you simply just do cardio and not working out at all, like you'll turn into a marathon runner. And I'm not here to hate on marathon runners. I personally ran a marathon as well, but their main priority is like endurance training, right? And oftentimes having more muscle on your body actually slows you down. But I am assuming that most people watching this video, including the person that asked this question, is not trying to optimize for running a marathon. Like, we're here to look nice and jacked, nice and ripped, healthy body, healthy amount of muscle, healthy body fats, and just have that nice aesthetic beach body that we're all kind of after, right? So yeah, try to at least exercise or actually resistance train workout 2 to 3 days of strength training per week, and make sure that you focus on compound movements like squats, deadlifts, bench presses, rows, and aim to like get stronger at them, right? It's progressive overload. Optimizing your cardio session. So if you do enjoy your cardio routine and want to keep it in, there are ways to optimize it for muscle retention. So for this person, I know you're doing an hour per session, so try to shorten your cardio session slightly to just 30 minutes, 45 minutes max. And also, if you can, try to space out your cardio and strength training sessions to allow for adequate recovery between workouts. So instead of doing like, let's say your workout first and then right after your cardio, try to have your workout first and then maybe like at night. So or workout in the morning and then cardio at nighttime. So space it out, have a couple of meals in between there, allow for some recovery. And now I do know that that's a privilege. Like, a lot of people can go to the gym 2 times in a day. But even something that I did when I did my marathon is I do my workout in the morning, I go back home, I go to work, do whatever. And then at nighttime, I just did my cardio outside. I just ran outside, right? And we all have a pair of shoes. We can just go outside, right? So if you can, that'd be like an ideal thing. So if you work like a typical 9-to-5 job, what you can do is you can either do your workout session before work, right? Or even do your cardio session before work, go to work, go do what you have to do. And then at nighttime, you can either do your workout in the PM or do your cardio in the PM, just to kind of space it out, just to allow for a bit more recovery. But now, again, if that does not work for you, then the least you could do if you want to keep both of them in is, yes, doing both your workouts and then cardio within the same session. But now, if you guys are watching this video, I assume that your main goal is muscle growth. So whatever your priority is, try to do that first while you're the freshest, right? I know this makes common sense, but I see a lot of people make this mistake where, okay, their main goal is to build more muscle, but then I see them before they start their workout do 30 minutes on the treadmill, breaking a sweat, fatiguing themselves. I'm like, but isn't your main goal to build more muscle? They're like, yeah, it is. Well, then it's like, okay, well, while you're at your most freshest, putting all your energy towards cardio, which isn't even your main priority. You're like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Well, it's like, if you just run it through, it's like, yeah, obviously, like, while you're the freshest, you should be doing the most hardest tasks that you actually want to prioritize, right? Like, for example, like at work, if you have to do 3 things, like, would you rather waste your energy on doing the 2 easy things first and leaving the hardest tasks towards the end of the day when not only you're super tired, but you're also super drained? Or would you rather, when you're at work, first thing to do while you're the freshest, do the hardest task, and then once the hardest task is done, you can focus on the easier things, right? So make sure, if your goal is to build more muscle, do your workout first and then do your cardio after. And then last thing here is nutrition, right? So ensure that you're filling your body adequately with a balanced diet rich in protein, carbs, and fats to support both muscle growth and cardiovascular health. Also, prioritize recovery by getting enough sleep in, staying hydrated, and incorporating rest days into your routine, right? So in summary, while cardio is beneficial for overall health and fitness, doing too much can definitely interfere with muscle growth. So try to strike like a healthy balance there. Consider incorporating some strength training into your routine, optimizing your cardio sessions, and prioritizing nutrition and recovery. So if you do need any more help with this specific question, please reach out to me, let me know, and I'll be there to help you. And I'll see y'all soon. Peace. Now, if you want to be around a community of like-minded people just like yourself who will educate you, motivate you, and inspire you to absolutely demolish your health and fitness goals, come join the Barbarian squad down below. I guarantee you, you will not regret it one single bit, and I'll see you inside.